Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I'll tell you, at this point, the analysts, the chart analysts out there pretty well have me convinced that not only is the bad news surrounding XRP, thanks to the SEC going after Ripple, not only will that news not matter ultimately, but that XRP in the coming months could be going to $1.30. So says a very popular chart analyst who I actually just came across today for the first time. If I'd seen him before, I just don't recall. But I want to highlight him along with opinions from another of other analysts out there. Now, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I just enjoy talking about these topics as an enthusiast, and I run this as a YouTube channel as a fun hobby. But that is all that it is. Just to be super duper transparent. Don't want anyone to think that I'm someone or something that I am not. All right, let's go ahead and just dive right on in here. So as I record this, XRP is at 25 cents. Bitcoin is at $36,705, which is hovering right at its all-time high. And take a look at this. Market cap for the entire asset class over $1 trillion for the first time ever. Was it literally yesterday when I was talking about, I was like, oh, I don't think it's going to be long before I get to have the pleasure of reporting that the entire market cap for the asset class is over $1 trillion, and sure as hell, here we are. That is insane. And I still think if you fast forward, I don't know how far out, maybe to take years to get there, I don't know. I think that you're going to have multiple coins with individual market caps in the trillions, trillion plus, especially those that end up proving that they deserve to have staying power. Bitcoin dominance is at 67.99%. So it's been quite the wild ride. And by the way, my very last video I talked about this, so I'm not going to go in depth, but for those of you that missed it, the Flare, the Spark token from Flare Networks, is trading today for the first time ever. There is only one market in the world where it is being traded, and that is on the BitTrue cryptocurrency exchange. Now, the Flare token, Spark token itself, has not been released. It'll there's not a, I don't, as far as I know, there's no date announced. It's going to be either the first quarter or second quarter this year. And so what's actually being traded here is an IOU. So it's just a placeholder because BitTrue knows that it's coming, and they wanted all of us crazy little speculators out there to be able to jump in and speculate. Now, here's the thing, though, just to be clear, if you're in the United States and thinking, oh, I want to hop on BitTrue and take part of this, or perhaps sell some of my Spark tokens. If you're in the United States, you cannot. I don't know the reason why. I don't know that a reason was articulated. You're going to have to sit on the sidelines, though, until the official token has been released, and then you can participate. And so these IOUs will be swapped out for the real thing as soon as they're available. But anyway, anywhere else in the world, if you hop on BitTrue, you can actively buy and sell. And here's the crazy thing. So as I'm recording this is, mind you, what's it been, like 12 hours, however long it's been on the market. And it's worth right now 13 cents. Think about that. It's worth just over half of what one XRP is. And I gotta admit, this is higher than I would have guessed. Like, I don't make price predictions, but if I had made a for fun guess, it wouldn't have been as high. Not right out the gate. Not that I would have said no, it can't happen to get that higher, much higher even. And so it's kind of nice, since this is effectively free money for we XRP holders as soon as we get it anyway. This might be a way of like helping to soften the blow. If you have claimed your XRP and you've taken a hit on the XRP price. If you claimed your Spark, I think I said that wrong. If you have claimed your Spark token, but you've also taken a hit on your XRP price, why don't you smash those two prices together? If you're talking about XRP right now, 25 cents, add another 13 cents on top of that. But you might as well. I know it's a different asset, but I'm just saying that combined, that is free money right there if you're going to sell it. And I know you don't get it all at once it's distributed, but still, that's 38 cents right there. That kind of softens the blow, in my humble opinion, thanks to what those little rat bastards at the SEC had done, harming consumers, frankly, speculators out there like you and I. But cool stuff, and I bet that's going to run up much further, too. I can't wait to get opinions from all sorts of chart analysts, and I really can't wait for it to be distributed and tradable on exchanges the world over. It's going to be truly fascinating to watch that. And so here's the chart analyst that I came across for the first time today. So he's got on Twitter 36,700 followers, but he's got a YouTube channel with 258,000 subscribers. And so the way I came across him is YouTube recommended his video that he put out today to me. And yes, I was the right target. YouTube knows who should be watching what. Let's be real. They have a great algorithm, right? And so anyway, it was suggested, and I was like, yeah, I don't know who this is, but what the hell, I'll watch it. And this guy, he just strikes me as rather sharp, and a lot of what he said was super in line with what other chart analysts that I follow have been saying, as I'll be illustrating here verbally in this particular video. And so he kept talking about, the bottom, it looks like it's in. And where else have you been hearing that? I mean, even just yesterday, I mentioned that the blockchain backer says that he believes that the bottom is in. And what's the bottom? 17 cents. What did the blockchain backer say the bottom is? 17 cents. And I was like, this is kind of interesting. And so what would invalidate this? Well, Alessio Rastani here, if I'm saying his name right, he said that if the price dips below 17 cents and that becomes resistance, that would pretty much that would invalidate what he thinks is going to happen, but he does not believe that is going to happen. He believes, frankly, and he went into depth. His video was like 20 or 25 minutes. I watched the whole thing earlier, and he seems very firm on this idea that it's way, way, way more likely that in the coming weeks and months you're really going to start to see some action, and he believes that you're going to see XRP getting upwards of $1.30, and that's just within the next few months. And he made a broader point, and it's something that even with me not being a chart analyst, it's a point that I've been bringing up from time to time over the last few days in particular, which is, look, I got it. I understand news can matter. When it's positive, it doesn't seem to, right? It doesn't like push the price up. But when something bad and scary happens, there you go, and people are panic selling XRP. And I do understand, and again, it's nothing but sympathy. And if you think that selling or reducing your exposure to XRP is the right thing to do, then I encourage you. I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell, but I'm just trying to get the point across that whatever you want to do is the right thing. And I get that it's riskier to hold XRP right now. I'm happy to acknowledge that. This is not a hype channel, even though my conviction regarding XRP remains firm. But, as far as the news that occurred with the SEC going after Ripple, yeah, that dropped the price and it got rid of everybody that cared about it, effectively, more or less. And so, and he was kind of effectively making that point too, because he says, he said it like this. He's like, news doesn't matter. And of course, he didn't literally mean that. He meant that price trumps everything else. And he actually went on to elaborate why. He's like, but isn't it, if you're going to jump in to XRP now, he's like, is it really going to go anywhere? Is it actually going to go somewhere? And his firm answer is yes. He says that the price would tell you if XRP were going to zero, as many say, then it wouldn't be bouncing off support at 17 cents and now at 25 cents, which is what it did. And so he's like, no, price would have told us that by now. Like it would have been much, much, much lower. So price went down. People were scared. That all makes sense. But people are, and so what I'd been saying over the last few days is I have a strong suspicion that now that all the people that wanted out are out, the rest that are in, they're here to speculate. They're here for some more long-term holders. And you know what people like? The shiny. Green candles is what they like. So if this thing starts to go, I don't care what the bad news has been. My thoughts, and I've been sharing over the last few days, I think people are still they're just going to pile in. And because look, we might not have clarity on the SEC stuff for over a year. So if there's an opportunity for it to go substantially higher with the rest of the market over this bull run, I want to have a piece of that, And I understand if there's like a really bad judgment with the SEC that could be detrimental to price, but at least we'll have an idea of when we might get news pro or to the pro or negative side, right? So in the meantime, I'm just sitting here like, yeah, I'm definitely going to continue to hold. I'm excited to see where this all goes. I just feel sorry for everybody else that, felt that they had to get out purely because of what the SEC did. They're the ones that harmed us, not Ripple. Okay, that's my firm opinion on that. And so Alessio here, he highlighted this in his video. I'm not familiar with this gentleman, but his name's Bernard Baruch, if I'm saying that right. And here's his quote: "Show me the charts and I'll tell you the news." And so the point that he was making there is it's not so much the news at all that leads the market. It's the price. It's just people speculating and bouncing. It's the volatility that results because people don't know what the hell they're doing, to be honest. Like they just emotionally buy and sell, and the market goes in a similar direction. So again, it's not that the news doesn't matter at all. If it didn't matter at all, then XRP wouldn't have been in the top 5 cryptocurrencies since like 2014. It wouldn't have been. So I'm not saying it doesn't matter. And so the point he's making here is it's the price that matters more. And that's the same thing that Alessio was talking about. So it definitely caught my attention. And so let's hop on over to here now. Credible Crypto chart analyst wrote the following. As mentioned in the video update below, relief is due. We may have just started the rally overnight. The bearish break level needs to hold for continuation up XRP. And so he's another individual that's talking about in the short term, perhaps seeing XRP get up to, and maybe even if it takes weeks, whatever it is, getting up to a range of potentially up to 46 cents. And so it's just everywhere I'm going, and like, unless you're like an XRP hater, then those people I have a hard time believing, because it's definitely seems to me to be the case that the people that are chart analysts, even if they're good at their job, they're not good if they can't leave their emotions out of Ripple and XRP stuff. And I just noticed that so many of them tend to have more negative outlooks than people that are neutral or pro XRP, right? And so you could say that the other analysts are biased to the positive side for XRP, but I don't know about that, because they're positive about all sorts of different cryptocurrencies. I still get the sense they're offering their honest opinion, but with the Bitcoin maxi types, if they hate XRP, then they hate XRP, So that's the way that I've been looking at it anyway. But yeah, so anyway, he still believes that likely good news for XRP in terms of price action sooner or later. And again, he's not the only one. You're going to continue to see a theme throughout this video. This is just what chart analysts are thinking. And in my opinion, chart analysts, if they're halfway decent, they're not going to make buying and selling decisions like the typical retail speculator. The typical retail speculator, they'll be FOMOing in and panic selling and all that jazz. No thank you, sir or madam. Here's DIY investing. He wrote, I've got an insanely important XRP video to share with you guys today. I'm going to explain my trading plan and why I bought so much XRP. I am more bullish than ever before while the market panic sells. Give me your blood. I got kicked out of that one too. So it's another analyst that, by the way, you know what he did? I mentioned this in a video the other day, but here it is. He wrote the following. I spent 1 Bitcoin on 105,000 XRP 2 days ago, and now my XRP is outperforming my Bitcoin. XRP haters will be in disbelief when I double this coin into 2. So, oh yeah, he's most certainly in it. And he went on to articulate why, and I try to not do a bunch of tech stuff. First of all, I don't want to pretend like I know how to read charts, and I'm also not interested in learning, really. I pick up a little bit as I go. Unfortunately, I'd like it to leave my brain. I just don't care. But I'm more about researching fundamentals. But I'm interested in opinions from people that do enjoy the technical analysis and know how to do it. But he did go on to and explain it, and there are all sorts of metrics that he was looking at in chart patterns, and he illustrated in his recent video from today, just hours ago, exactly why he firmly believes what he believes. So if you're the type that wants to dig in and look at all that stuff, there's videos from all sorts of analysts out there that have YouTube channels, and it's just fascinating that they're delivering such similar messages, And so, yeah. It's just interesting stuff. And then here's another analyst, high altitude investing. He wrote the following. If you know anything about Elliott wave, you would be foaming at the mouth right now. So he was talking about a chart pattern there. Then he wrote, it's funny because so many people message me saying, Dylan, I missed Bitcoin at $4,000. What can I buy? And I tell them, like any good gentleman, to buy XRP. They respond, Dylan, I don't want to risk losing money. And then he writes, no wonder you didn't buy Bitcoin at $4,000. That's a good point. See, and that's what it goes back to another thing that I firmly believe to be true. I've just seen it endlessly, that as soon as a green candle pops up, ooh, shiny, and people go rushing into that. It's the people that that buy when there's blood in the streets, figuratively, not literally. Because I'm literally one of the few humans that uses the word literally and figuratively appropriately. I just, if you're one of the people that will buy when there's figuratively blood in the streets, those are the people that make the profit. And so we'll see. Like, I'm not some sort of wizard. Maybe things go to hell in a handbasket with XRP. I'm just sharing with you that what I'm seeing from chart analysts is it's just like, they're like, no, the chart formations, they don't lie. And so then it goes back to, if the analysts are right, and there's so many of them that are saying the chart's looking very primed for XRP, then the question is the news more important than the price, or is it like Alessio said, that price is what trumps the news? I believe at this point, and we'll see what happens, I believe that the price is more important. I think Alessio was right. I don't think that humans are going to stop speculating on XRP the world over. A cryptocurrency that's number 4 in market cap today, that's been around for 8 years. It's got some of the, I don't think really any cryptocurrency is particularly liquid, but as far as cryptocurrency goes, it's a very liquid one, It's like the degree to which it's being traded on 200 exchanges the world over, like 85-90% of the trading outside of the United States. Like, I don't see it going away. I don't see it missing the rally. Now, maybe more people will sit on the sidelines than they other would. Maybe because of this news, it won't pump as much as it otherwise would. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. But something's still going to happen, And I suspect, based on what the analysts are saying, if they're right, man, it could be noticeably to the positive. And here's one last one from Rakesh Upadhyay. He's a chart analyst for Cointelegraph. And he had a very similar opinion, but he didn't want to state whether he thinks XRP is more likely to go positive or negative. But check out his opinion here. While most major altcoins have been surging, XRP has been languishing near its recent lows, suggesting that traders are not aggressively buying at the current levels. The consolidation also suggests that the bears are taking it easy. This lack of interest from the bulls and the bears could extend the range-bound action for a few more days. The next leg of the down move could start if the bears sink the price below 16.9 cents support. Such a move could trigger panic selling that may result in a decline to 10 cents. On the contrary, a break above the 20-day EMA 30 cents will be the first sign of strength, and the recovery could pick up steam above 38.5 cents. Look at that. See, and so he didn't want to say what he thinks is more likely, but as far as the level to watch, 16.9 cents. Okay, fine. So Alessio says 17. Blockchain Backer says 17. Splitting hairs here. It's the same damn thing. As far as the upside, 38.5 cents. Credible Crypto says upside, 46 cents. And also on the downside, like Alessio did say the same thing. He was talking about potentially going down to that type of level, but he just doesn't think that it's probable. He's like, if it does, then that will invalidate where he thinks this is all going. If it does, if 17 doesn't hold, but it popped off it hard when it did get down there recently after all the scary news. So I can understand why the chart analysts feel so strongly about this. It'll be interesting to see what happens. One hell of a ride. So I'll tell you, for me, you do whatever you want to do. I don't blame you if you want to get out, or if it gets up a little bit and then you're like, okay, I want to get out entirely or partly. I totally get it. It is scarier, and I do believe that there is more risk holding XRP as a result. But I just, my personal opinion is that the worst is behind us, unless there's some sort of additional crazy, unforeseen bad news that I couldn't even fathom. Oh, another thing to mention too, actually, before wrapping up the video here, and Alessio was talking about this, I've even mentioned it because I'm aware of this, the market moves in tandem. And so when you see negative price action for Bitcoin, it can sink other coins. But a point that Alessio brought up was this idea that XRP price is already so suppressed that even if Bitcoin tanks, he's not convinced necessarily that you're going to see a huge drop for XRP. He's just not. He's like, there's too many people that I want to get out. I've already gotten out the other people. I mean, it's clearly, those would be the stronger hands, if you want to call it that. And so he thinks if Bitcoin tanks sooner than later, which he actually did acknowledge was a possibility, yeah, you can see some price down, but could still end up taking off despite that. But don't be surprised if Bitcoin does have a correction, especially in the short term. Don't be surprised if XRP, along with the rest of the market, responds in kind. Hopefully it wouldn't be as bad as other altcoins since it's already so suppressed, but that's something to watch for. So we'll see there. But I'll wrap up. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.